Yes, Sheron, yeah, so part 2 now, yeah. So please like, share and subscribe, yeah. So we're going to the next question now, Sheron, yeah. Do you believe mothers play any part in making young black boys being spoiled, ill manners, lack of respect for dads, etc.?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and straight up, yeah, it don't need to go no further than that, really, because all these young boys here is mum beating out my dad's name for whatever reason, you know. When my son goes off in the daytime with his dad and comes back, I don't ask him what he's been doing. I just say, do you have a nice time? Yeah, end of conversation. I don't want to know where did you go, what did you do, what did your dad say, was this, no, come out of it. Come out of it. Let your son go off and spend time with his dad. And make sure that any problems that you have, you can communicate. Parents' evening, if one can't go, the other one go.
Yeah.
Or you both go together.
Yeah, make it look even better.
Right. Or, you know, schools, you can tell them you have to write to the kid's dad as well when it comes to letters.
You can tell them.
You can tell
but some
them
parents
that.
don't do that because they believe that they should have, especially the ladies, because they believe that they should have that upper hand over the situation.
Well, then that's why your kid's going to grow up messed up. Because it's not a case of upper hand. It's not a game of roulette. These are children's lives we're talking about and the direction they're going to be going in with those lives. So it's not a game, you know, run up on your baby father. And what about your son?
But do you think it happens with the black race more than it does with other race? Or is it because it's us why we are noticing it?
No, I do believe it's mainly to do with the Caribbean and American black race, and I put it down to slavery. Because Africans don't have this problem.
They don't?
No. The African men are more committed as fathers than black Caribbean men are.
That's very interesting.
Right.
Okay.
And I do put it down to slavery. Yeah, taking the child away from their parents. That's all they know. Taking the child away from the parents, selling them off to somebody else. Do you understand what I mean?
So in this case, how would you explain it? Like with the guys and not being responsible, is it a gene thing that you feel like they
No, it's just a mold that's been made that needs to be broken. It's got nothing to do with genes. Or the Africans will be doing it.
No, I'm just trying to understand it because you said the ones who go through slave are different from the ones who haven't.
Yes.
Which the African haven't been
Yeah,
through
but
slave.
that's nothing to do with being. That's not genetics. That's just the environment, how we lived in these countries.
Yeah, but in that
It's
time,
gonna stop you from being a black man.
yeah, no, but in that time they sell people, but now they don't. It's just a man deciding that he's not going to take care of his responsibility. So that's why I use the word dream, because for you to act in that manner, in that sense, you've got to learn it from somewhere.
Well, we say that the way we beat our children, Caribbean parents, we beat our children like slavery. The way we whip them and stuff like that.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, because that's where we learned it from. Yeah.
And it's just come down and stuff like that. And parents in the Caribbean leaving their children with family and going off to a next country and stuff like that with the promise that they're going to bring them over and don't do it or send money. Do you understand what I mean? You know, no white person could do, white people don't do that. In Europe, they don't do that. When people are cussing off the Polish and stuff like that, they don't do that. They try and bring their kids over. They're prepared to live in one room with 10 people and save up and then go back to Poland.
So you think the mothers has definitely got a part to play?
Mothers today are the stronghold of the family.
But so the next question would be on the same lines, as in, do you think a mother bad-mouthing a dad in front of the child helps in any situation? Really, they explain that? No. And it will never help? No.
My second son, sorry everybody if you think, oh God, Sharon can't stop talking about a son, but these are my experiences.
Yes.
I can't reach out to anybody else's children.
Yes.
My second son, when me and his dad split up, his dad was just always trying to spite me because I didn't want to be with him anymore. So he used to try and do it through the kids because he knows he can't do anything but don't mess with the kids. So when he started messing with the kids, he messing with the wrong person. And he started to mess around with my son's head, promising to come and pick him up, not picking him up, all this kind of stuff. My son turned around and says, Mum, I want you to take my dad to court because I want to see him. I go to solicitor, sit down and talk to solicitor, explain everything. Solicitor write him, you know, to let him know someone's contact with you. Told him about the children thingy law and how he's breaking the law. He's emotionally, mentally, you know, abusing him. This, that, the other. The man never responds to nothing. She said, he can't take you to court for access now because I've gone out my way to provide him with access. I gave my son all them letters and he never asked for his dad again. I didn't need to beat him down over his dad.
So you didn't need to badmouth him or anything?
No.
You just do the right thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was that?
Yeah.
But you know that any woman who does that should know it's a bad thing.
Some dads need a push.
No, they need a kick.
Yeah. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
My eldest son's dad, he wasn't so quick off the mark like that. In doing the right thing, and I used to turn up with him, maybe because I was a teenager as well. I used to turn up with him in his pram, knock the door, and then walk off and leave the pram, and him in the pram right there. And he'd open the door, and I used to say to him, listen, I never F and get him on my own. The two of us get him. Man, you picnic, and I gone.
And then he stepped up in the end.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good, that's good. So my next question for you, Sheron, would be, what do you think is needed to be done in order for our young black boys to start achieving on a higher level?
Oh gosh, that's a hard one, you know.
It is, isn't it? But at the same time, it's easy because if we do the right things as a parent, then everything should fall together.
Yes, it should. And there are going to be some people that fall off the track.
Because no one's perfect.
Like that. Right.
There's no race we're talking about.
No, that's what I'm saying. I've got three boys. The eldest actively had his dad in his life, actively. And he's in prison right now. He's on an IPP. He spends a lot of time with the Queen. Okay, and the other two, they don't see their biological dad. End of discussion. Both gone university, both working. So sometimes it's not about whether the father is absent or not. It's about how you deal with those children as well. And another thing I want to think is that you have to treat your children according to who they are. You cannot give the same punishment to all your kids because they're individuals. You can't give all the kids the same rewards because they're individuals. And what might think is a reward, the other ones will think, well, you should have given it me anyway. I shouldn't have had to do this, that, and the other just to get it. Where the other kid would have just been made up. Son, I let down now.
No, I know you can feel it.
Yeah.
It's right. You alright?
Yeah.
So my next question will be, we'll have two more questions. What advice would you give to a mother about raising a young black boy to become a future black man? Because, you know, within a lot of situations, as we know, the dad is not there. So it's down to the mum to then teach. But you're a perfect example because you've always been there in your son's life, active, and like you've just used a perfect example. Your last two sons, the big one is away on holiday, but the last two, he's on a long holiday. But the last two ones are going uni, which is all credit to you. To them, obviously, for doing the work, but to you to be consistent and be there to teach them the right way.
I wasn't giving my boys up to the streets.
No,
not again.
And you've done a good job.
Black boys, it's hard. It's hard to raise a black boy, and I know a lot of mums out there I'm not perfect.
No.
I am not perfect. I have made mistakes with my own children. We sit down, we discuss it, we air it out. What I do when my kids were much younger as we used to spend quality time with them as individuals. When I'm picking them up from school and I'm in the car, we had quality time with each other and talk about things that were important to him. And then when he went to bed, because he was younger, I used to sit down with the other one and we do some quality time and talk about him and what's going on in his world. And then there was the family time as well, where we just talked as a family, what we seen on YouTube, what we watched on the telly and stuff like that. You know, I watched football with my boys. I was happy to sit down and watch race car and stuff, you know, and stuff like that. I don't watch soaps. But if I'm trying to get on my child's level and be in their world and try and understand them, then I gotta be there from the ground up. I don't care about Formula One racing. Really don't care.
But if your
Do you know how many
kid's
times
going
I've sat down and watched Formula One racing?
It's just because,
Yeah,
the support.
that's all it takes. That's why I said you just need to stop watching the television and running out and getting your nails done. I got pretty nails too, but my kids came first. A lot of people that know me, grow with me and stuff like that already know the type of person I am. So to all them people that don't know me and suddenly you see my face about and you're thinking, okay, I don't know, because I was concentrating on my kids.
Yes.
They're grown now, so I can go wherever I want.
Yes.
That's why you never see me out and about. I was at home looking after my kids. So I weren't going to every pan knock. No, I was going to see my son play football in the pouring rain with a wet coat on, shaking, telling him, good one, son. Got the boot up with the clothes in the back of the car and wiping them down because I can't get in the car looking like that. An umbrella and all of this while they're trying to get dressed and that. My son got selected for Manchester diving squad, going to watch him dive, sitting there for 4 hours, going to Newcastle to watch him do competitions and stuff like that because it's about him and his future. I've done mine.
But don't you think that's why they really says mums are the best and give mum the credit, because with all the stuff, you know, our mothers does, because I've got 4 daughters, so I've got 5, but it's complicated, so I said 4. So basically I always say sometimes when I'm with them, it's the most enjoyable time, don't get me twisted, but it's some of the hardest concentrating time for me, because when they're around me, I can't afford for anything to go wrong with it. I don't even want them to fall, to trip it. If they run, I'm watching.
But that's a dad.
Everything.
When it comes to a dad and his little girl, that's a dad.
I know, but there's, like I'm saying, is like, but when I'm thinking, the point I was trying to make is with the mum, she's got them all day, and she's got to do all of that all day and other things. So when I sit back as the dad and I look sometimes, I think, whoa, I really appreciate all my baby mothers, because it shows me what they do on a daily basis and how much it takes. And that's why it makes me have to contribute in any way what I can.
Any way possible.
Towards whatever. Because with my kids, I won't say, you know what I mean, if it's the dinner money, anything, even though I'm giving their mum their shopping money, I don't say, okay, pay the dinner money out of that. Or I don't say, okay, go and get this. All of that is different. I don't do it like that. I was speaking with a guy once, and he says to me, oh, he give his kids stuff when he gets money. He says, to me, that's not really acceptable. Well, when you get money, but
it's got to be consistent.
It's got to be consistent, because your kid eat every day. So at the end of the day, how are you gonna be giving your kids money when you get money? How often do you get money? Because that's the next question. You know what I mean? That could be every month.
More times than he's telling you.
That's what I'm saying. But at the same time, like I said, it's not, the child didn't ask to be born. So it's our responsibility to make sure we take care of our child.
That's why I say it's not about us anymore.
No.
From you decide to have a child, it's not about you anymore. It's about your children. stop wanting the Gucci dress. You can't have it. Go and buy your son the Nike trainers. Do you understand what I mean?
But what do you say to the guy that says to his baby mother that, listen, you're getting money from the benefit, you're okay, I don't need to give you money? What do you say to that guy? Because you got a lot of guys who are like that, who says, oh, the system is giving you this and the system is giving you that, so I don't need to give you that. No, I've never ever thought or even asked any of my baby mothers what would you say to a guy who think like that?
I'd step away. I'd keep walking. I wouldn't argue with him.
But there's a lot of guys.
Yeah, I know, but the point is I wouldn't argue with him because he's already got it up there. And I'm just wasting my energy. I wouldn't argue with him. I'd just keep walking and I'd raise my kids and then they can decide for themselves.
But what?
Do you understand where I'm
No.
coming from?
From where you're coming from, I understand. But what would you say directly to the guy? Because that's what you do as the woman, as the mother, which is instinctively, that's what a good mother would do. Because you're not going to ask, and you've done it on your own, like I said. So that's what you do. But I'm saying, what would you say to that deadbeat guy, deadbeat dad? Who,
exactly that.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just a deadbeat.
You get me?
Seriously.
If you think like that, you are a deadbeat.
This is why I said I keep walking, because that man don't warrant my time or energy.
Okay.
He doesn't warrant it.
Okay.
And the minute I start having something to say, I'm giving him my energy.
Yeah.
And my energy could be going in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
You're a man. And you already know this. Okay? You either grew with your dad and know what it means to have a father around. How dare you abandon your kids? Or you either didn't grow with your dad and know what it means not to have that father figure. How dare you abandon your kids? And I'm not here to tell you how to be a man.
I know, but listen, you got some situations, Sheron, where you got people who, as a man in the situation, they probably take on a kid that, because I've seen it.
Take on a kid that's not there.
That's not there. But then at the same time, they don't get that acknowledgement from the mum or even the respect that they probably should have get, or even the, in that sense. What would you say to that situation? Because a lot of that situation happened because the mum doesn't give the...
I'm doing it. I've done it. My youngest, my last two kids have got the same dad. But when I met my ex-husband and my kids were going through all that stuff with their biological dad, and the one wanted me to take his dad to court, the other one didn't care. He didn't care. What he turned around and said to my ex-husband is, "Can I call you dad?" And he says, "Why?" He says, "Because you act like a dad. You know what it means to be a dad. You go out and he listed all the things." I'm sorry.
No, you're all right.
He listed all the things that a dad's supposed to do and what it means to have a dad. You know. Sorry, everybody. Go straight to the airport, you know.
Yeah, he's gone.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
He knows what he knows what he knew what it meant to have a dad, and he said, "Well, that's a big thing you're asking of me. I need to think about it." And then they had the chat, and he calls him dad. This is from he was 4.
So
he's 22 now,
and he still calls
him
dad.
He still calls him dad.
Yeah. But you see,
and when we split up, he came on his days off to pick him up. Like he's supposed to, right? And he went about his business with him in the day. He came to parents' evening. He did the swimming. He did the going to the different towns to watch him die and all that. Do you understand what I mean?
But do you
I feel fortunate
and
blessed
like him,
to have that.
But do you think if you didn't show him appreciation or acknowledges what the things he does for him, do you think he still carries on doing the same thing?
Yes, actually, because of the way he was raised.
Because the way he was raised.
Yeah. He's now got a daughter. Yeah. And I co-parent. He's got legal custody of his daughter, but I help him with her. When he's working, she comes and and stays with me.
But you see,
and all of that.
But you see, that's the testament of you showing him appreciation and what he does for you. Yeah. So you are doing the same thing back for him, which is right. That's what I'm saying. But maybe because the situation is probably different in because I'm asking the question in that sense because I don't know. I've seen
There's
it.
a lot of guys that are not raised to be deadbeats. Okay, they've not been raised to be deadbeats. They are deadbeats though. They disappoint their mothers
Yeah.
and their fathers
Yeah.
and stuff like that. My son, I thought he'd be a great dad. I'd never thought that he wasn't gonna. That boy, I broke my heart a million times. He is a deadbeat dad. Okay, he wants to control his baby mother.
Who is your
My
son?
my big son. You
No.
can't do that. You
Why?
got to give her props for when he was in prison.
Yeah.
When he was in prison and she was minding the girl on her own. You weren't there, so you can't tell her what she should and should not do. You should slowly step back and work yourself back into their lives. Not come out of prison and start throwing your weight around. It don't work like that. She's not going to appreciate you for that. What you need to do is take your time and slowly, gradually build yourself into their lives. Slowly go parents' evening and stuff like that. Not be saying, I don't like what you're doing and she needs to go to bed at such and such. Like, just go away. You've been 2 years in prison. Go away. I'm not interested in nothing you got to say.
So the last question now, but it's not the least. And what advice would you give to the fathers about raising the son to become a future Barack Obama?
Be a better man. Be the man that you wish you were shown to be. Be that man, okay? Because when you was a kid lying down in your bed at 14 and 15, you said to yourself, you're never going to be like this. And when you get your kids, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. Well, then do it. And if your baby mother's stopping you from seeing your child, take the woman to court and go and get proper legal access to see your kids. There's no excuse. Take the mother to court. My friend didn't get on with her son's baby mother and her son died. She went to court for grandparental rights, access to see her grandchild. Because as a grandparent, you can do that.
Of course, yeah, it's a blood, isn't it?
Right. Take her to court. You want to see your kids, take her to court. Right? Then you'll get proper visiting rights and visiting access.
Yeah. But no, but when you get that access, you need to be consistent with it.
I
Because
agree, but if you're going to go through the effort
Yeah.
of taking her to court,
Yeah.
you are going to be consistent.
yeah, but some people aren't because they get that time and they've messed it up. They have the kid hanging about, oh, I'm coming to pick you up today. Then they don't turn up. They don't even ring the mum to say, I'm not coming today. Yeah, if I'm not picking my kids up, I let the mum know, listen, I can't make it, I'm working today, because that's the only reason why I wouldn't be able to pick my kids up. Yeah, so I let them know before and like, listen, I might not be able to pick you up tomorrow because I'm working all day, because I will know. Or if I get stuck in work today and the staff don't turn up, then I'll just say, listen, I'll call them and says, listen, I won't be able to pick us up today. You understand? Because I'm in work and they understand the situation. But if you as a dad get that opportunity to pick your kids up, yeah, and you keep on letting the kids down and you go to court and the court granted you that, you're not going to get anything else from there because you've messed up.
And there's nothing you can do
There's
about
nothing you can
it.
do.
Then you face the music when your child grows up.
And turn 18.
It's called accountability.
Yeah.
At some point in your life, you have to be accountable to your child.
For what the things you've done.
For what you've done.
Yeah.
I'm young. My son's dad is older than me. And my son has always resented the fact that he's got an older dad. Because he sees it as, if my dad was young, I'd be able to go and play football with him. And he'd be able to take me to football matches. And I says, your dad, you raise your boys to be a mini version of yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly how I
Your
see
dad likes playing dominoes. Your dad likes putting a bet on the bucket. You know how to put a bet on the bucket. And you know how to play dominoes. So you are a mini version of your dad, whether you like it or not. Do you understand what I mean? Not every dad likes football.
No, not every dad likes football.
Not every dad's going to want to stand at a wet, muddy field and watch you play football.
Yeah, but they should though. Because it's like I said, we're living for the kids.
Yes.
So
I agree.
they should make that effort to make sure they're there. Because if you the mum can make the effort, then the dad should at least make the efforts as well to be there. Yeah.
His dad still gives me money when he sees me. And I say to him, my son's 30 odd. And I say to him, I don't know what's wrong with you. Push your money in your pocket. He goes, for all the years you raised that boy, there's not enough money I could ever give you.
And that's good.
And he says, push the money in your pocket.
At least he's recognized that. And you see, that's the problem when people don't recognize it, you know, and that's a big issue. And that's the issue I see as a major issue, because one is doing it, but one is not recognizing what the person is doing.
And also they've got their friends and their peers. Some guys can be knocking heads with his friends, and one guy's dropping everything because he's got to pick up his youth, and the other guy's still sat there smoking a split, knowing that, and he's not doing the same thing.
Yeah. But
right?
then
You as a friend should be saying, what's going on, man? Why are you not picking up your youth? Why are you even moving with the guy? Why are you even moving with the guy? You just look as bad as him, even though you might not like, you might not be like that. Then you have to justify yourself to other people with, don't watch that, don't watch that.
You're right, Sheron.
I ain't gonna hang around with no deadbeat girl who got nothing better to do than show her front. I ain't got time for that.
No.
I ain't got time for that.
Because you've got your kids to take care of. Yeah.
No, my kids are grown. Yes. Sheron can be out all the time, every day. They cook for me. I don't even have to worry about dinner getting cooked. Because they will cook.
Yeah.
They will phone me and say, are you going to eat out, Mum? Or are you going to come home? That's to decide whether we're all going to have a takeaway or they're going to cook. So they need to know what am I doing.
That's good.
So they can plan around me.
Yeah, but Sheron, it's nice speaking to you. This was a very interesting topic and interview. I wanted to speak about this topic for a long time.
I just think mums can do more.
Yeah. And getting it from a lady's perspective, I think it's better from my point of view, because sometimes when the guys talk, because there is so many deadbeat dads, and I'm not disrespecting anyone individual, I'm just saying there's so many. So therefore, sometimes it seems like the woman,
all forms, shapes, and everything.
Exactly. So sometimes the ladies don't listen to the conversation when it's coming from guys. But with it coming from a woman like yourself, they probably, because you've been through it, you've raised kids, successful, whatever, you understand.
Well, I've got one that went down the wrong road,
you understand?
And two that didn't.
It's a life, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like I said, you understand me. Look at the Queen. She's got their kids, and the Prince Andrew went one way, Charles went the other way, and the next, you understand? It's just hard. So this is what I'm saying to you. It's the same thing. My mom and dad got 3 kids. I'm the youngest. My sister is a guidance counselor. My brother is a technical engineer. But I would view myself as the one, as a street person, because this is just how I am.
Not just as successful.
No, I am
a businessman.
I am
who's creative.
I've always
if you
been.
didn't care, you wouldn't be doing this.
True that.
And you're not looking for a pat on the back.
No. We don't do that.
It's just who you are. Exactly. I've been trying to contact you for the longest. And you're not the only person, because I see a couple of people that are trying to bring back the community.
Yeah. And this is what we want to do, Sheron, because you have to do things like this, you know, have talks to let the younger ones know and to direct them, because
there's people out there that care.
Yes,
and they feel like nobody cares.
I know, and that's the problem, because but I don't even feel like, I feel like what's going on these days, Sheron, I believe the issue is this, so kids are being allowed too much leeway. Yeah, that's what I say.
Okay.
So now I walk down the road now and I see girls, young girls, the skirt is too short. Yeah, I see boys walking, the pants is down at the knee. You understand? So this is why the confusion is different, you know. The girls want a skirt to be short, way up there, so she pull it all the way up. Yeah, and the boy need his pants to be down there, so he drop his, and you're thinking, wait, but the girl's skirt should be taller. And it is, and I'm wondering who are buying some of these clothes.
Parents.
Because when
it's all to do with parenting.
But why would you dress your kids in a certain irrespective manner if you know they are not of age and they are not of, you understand? So when sometimes I'm thinking and I'm looking at the kids, I'm thinking, okay, it's not as if no one cares, but sometimes what people do is like they said, okay, you go and do what you're doing.
That's why it's important as a parent to know who your kids are socializing with.
Exactly.
Okay? Oh, this is my friend Samantha. Oh, hello, Samantha. Where do you live?
Yeah.
Who's your mum?
Yeah.
Right?
What does
Let
she
me
do?
drop you off at Samantha's.
Exactly.
It's all right, babes.
Mhm.
I'll drop you off at Samantha's.
Yep.
You tell me, and I'll take you in the car,
Yep.
and I'll drop him off.
That's
Drop him off at
exactly.
Samantha.
We don't know someone from the outside, it's on the inside, and the
Yeah.
action. The action is what counts.
I like to go in the house,
Yeah.
and because I'll stand there and say, so I'm not welcome to have a come in and have a cup of coffee. Oh yeah, of course you can. Come in, because I want to see what's going on around, because my son is going to be in that environment. Do you understand what I mean?
You're right.
I buy my kids clothes, right? I mean, they were not allowed to wear black when they were younger.
Yeah. And that's very... That's
No
a,
black,
that,
not even black trainers.
That's a good interesting, because most boys now, they want to be in pure black,
Not
pure
just the
dark
colours.
colors, yeah? No, you don't need to be in those colors, because this is how you...
That's how you get pulled by the
exactly.
police.
But not only that, this is how you got to join into being part of a crew or gang or group or whatever, because at the end of the day, some people is going to say, oh, your color, your clothes should matter. I'm not saying it does matter, but I'm saying if you notice that this can get you into a certain altercation, why are you going to do it? You understand what I'm saying to you? So I'm not saying you're not supposed to wear anything black at all, but I'm saying when you come out in your black trainers, your black jumper, your black bottom, and your black hat, you know what I mean? That's a significant look for so-called thieves or gangsters.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying to you? So
you're
so
kind of
you're kind of portraying yourself. Yeah, you have gloves on and it's 20 degrees, you know? It's working.
Yeah,
you
and keep
understand
your
what I'm saying to
hands
you?
warm.
Yeah, and keep your hands warm. Yeah. We need to get our black kids on a more...
They weren't allowed to wear black. When I was doing their shopping, they weren't getting black. And when we go to the shop to buy trainers, and they were choosing the trainers, I said, if anybody come up to me one more time with a pair of black trainers, I'm going to shove that same trainer up your backside. Stop bringing black trainer to me.
You know what I look at into Sheron, yeah? You see, when you look at the other races, like for Asians, yeah, and for Chinese and for white, yeah, it's more structured, yeah? As in, for example, the kid will go, well, the child will go to school, then they will leave, but at certain age, that boy will be around his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah? Learning something. Whatever the dad is doing, this boy will be doing.
Well, it means to be a man.
It means to be a man. But in the black community, what I realize is that a lot of dads don't want to keep their son around them. And I'm thinking, why don't you want to keep your son around you?
Because
you understand? Because you should be teaching your son the ropes, and he should be
they're
knowing.
workless, and they know they're workless. That's why they don't want the kids around them.
Because
you're just workless.
When you look at the Asian man and he's teaching his son
he's got to be in the shop.
These things, he's got to be in the shop, right? Anything they do,
8, 9-year-old and they're in the shop
doing things. You understand?
Stacking the shelves that they don't want to stack.
This is what I'm saying to you. You haven't got a choice at that age, and that's my conversation. I don't believe a child have a say, yeah, until they are of age at 18. Some people say I'm wrong. Some people say, but
no,
that's my belief, and that's where I believe.
I'm 18 because my son, the second son, one time he was about 18. Tell me, say he's a man. I said, no, you're not. Yeah, I am. I'm a man. I said, a real man. I tell you, when you're a man, when you're self-sufficient, self-supported, you don't need anybody to do anything for you. You can pay your own bills and you can buy your own clothes. Then, and only then,
you're a man.
you will be a man.
Yes,
so right now, don't come tell me you're a man.
I'm still living under your mom's roof. Yeah.
You're not.
You're not.
But it's not even that. It's a case of, are you self-sufficient?
Yes.
Are you self-supported?
Yes. These things is what makes you a man. Yeah. You understand? You're not a man because you're male, you're a male gender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't come tell me about you're a man.
No.
Where? Which bit?
Yeah. And I think this is where loads of guys are getting it twisted as well, because they are calling themselves man and they are not doing the manly things like we're talking about.
Yeah, but the mum's allowing it, and it don't matter how much the baby father comes around there saying what they only want the baby father when things go wrong. And then when the guy's trying to talk to him, don't shout at him like that. Why are you roughing him up? Because obviously you've not been doing a very good job. My ex-husband said to me, why am I only ever coming to tell him off? Because that's the point he was getting to, where I kept saying, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing the other. He goes, I don't want to just always be telling him off. I want to be able to spend time with him. So we came to the conclusion that when there was a problem, we'd sit down, the two of us with him, and he's like, look, right, your mom, look, right, your dad, and we try and discuss it as three, you know, all together and stuff like that. So it never felt like it was always just one person
because
down on his back.
In that way, you can make that parent look like he's the bad one, because you only use him for the discipline.
Yes.
And I was in that situation at one point because, like I said, I had a stepson, and it was whenever he done anything wrong, wherever I'm at, I would get a phone call, or whenever I go back home, I would be told what he's done for the day. Young black boys, they need a way, they need to see a direction, and that needs to be the dads need to be leading by examples. But not only that, the mums need to be allowing the dad to be a dad,
to do his job as a man, as a father. And they need to just take a step back. If everything was all gravy when you was making the baby, let the gravy keep rolling. Now the baby's come. Okay, you didn't get on. That's fair enough. Not everybody's going to get on. No. By the end of the day, you both have a child.
Yes.
You share the same child.
Yeah.
A child is for life.
Exactly.
He's never going to stop being your child or his child.
For life.
Right? Even now, my big son, when he's causing problems, even now me and his dad will still sit down and talk about what's going on with this boy.
He's a child. It's both of his child.
Yeah, and in our eyes, he'll always be a child.
Of course, he will always be your child.
Yeah, and you want them to go in the right direction. No matter how old they are. That's something I'm learning as I get older, that you're forever guiding your children.
You're forever guiding children. Okay, Sheron, so yes, viewers, please like, share and subscribe and comment, please, and let us know what you think about the topic. So Sheron, was a nice conversation.